Hulk Hogan is dead. His heart exploded. It was very funny. And I'm not apologizing for being rude or whatever about it. I don't care, okay? Like, the guy was a piece of shit. The world is now better now that he's out of it. Okay? I'm nothing if not consistent. There are some people that the world is simply better off without. I prefer that he would have learned from his ways, from his wrongs, and gotten better and changed as a person. I believe that everybody has the capacity to do that. But he died before he ever did. So, you know what? That's the second best thing. Good riddance. Okay? Now, I have a specific article pulled up, and by specific I mean I googled Hulk Hogan dead and pulled up this one first, but I decided I like this one better because it's probably going to get into some of the grimy shit that he did. And I want to take this segment, the lesson at the end of the day for this segment I want to be is sometimes it's just fine to make fun of people who die. Sometimes that is just an okay thing to do. Okay? I don't care that he has family who's suffering. Yeah, it's sad for them. They didn't do anything wrong, most likely. Okay, even the wife and daughter that he treated very poorly, apparently. I'm sure they're suffering now as a result of his death. Okay, even if you have an abusive family member, their death can be very confusing and heartbreaking, and also kind of a relief, which I'm sure it was for them because he was a piece of shit to them, if the rumors are to be believed. So I feel bad for them, genuinely, I do. But I don't feel bad for Hulk Hogan himself. I don't care. Great, good. I'm glad he's gone. One of Kazim earliest memories is sitting on his father's lap watching Hulk Hogan wrestle in 19... Okay, I don't care about all this. He was a superhero, yada, yada, yada. Resurfaced an irreconcilable contradiction in the icon wrestler's legacy. Hogan's undeniable role in broadening wrestling's appeal to fans of all backgrounds versus his well-documented racism. You never really got the feeling that Hulk Hogan truly felt remorse, Femiide said. And this is just one thing that he's guilty of. But this is like the big thing that people are talking about. So we'll talk about this first. The Right Time podcast host Bomani Jones noted that there were two sharply different reactions to Hogan's death. Remembrances have split between those who see no need to harp on the past controversies and those who struggle with his behavior that once got him banned from the WWE. He was also taken out of the WWE's Hall of Fame, if I recall correctly. So history will forget him very quickly, which is very funny to me. This was never going to be one where people were going to mourn quietly, Jones said. Hogan's death drew remembrances for politicians, yada, yada, yada. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, don't give a f*** about that asshole. Other notable black professional wrestlers from Booker T and Mark Henry have found success in pinning WWE. Just as many people took Hogan's death as an opportunity to regale Hogan's more controversial behavior. In 2016, a Florida judge awarded Hogan over $115 million against Gawker Media after Hogan sued them for posting a video of him having sex with his former best friend's wife. The litigation led to the discovery that Hogan had used racial slurs in 2007 to describe his daughter's black ex-boyfriend.
In the ring, Hulk Hogan was best known for his leg drops, axe bombers,
Holy shit.
and body slams. But perhaps his most impactful takedown was a tag team with a billionaire backer that unfolded in court.
I was embarrassed what it did to me as
we'll get into that, Amber.
His opponent in that ring, the now defunct news and gossip website Gawker, which in 2012 published portions of a tape involving Hogan and Heather Klim, the wife of his close friend, radio personality Bubba the Love Sponge.
Kids might look for WrestleMania.
Did he say Bubba the Love Sponge? Is that his name?
Kids might look for WrestleMania.
Klim, the wife of his close friend, radio personality Bubba the Love Sponge.
It is Bubba the Love Sponge. I thought I misheard. Bubba the Love Sponge. I love that for him. Unfortunately, he didn't absorb quite enough love because his wife cheated on him.
Kids might look for WrestleMania 3 video and all of a sudden it pops up Hulk Hogan's tape.
In portions of the tape released in later years, Hogan, whose real name was Terry Bollea, was also heard using racial slurs.
How did that affect your daily life, even your interaction with your fans?
Made me cower. I still am not that standing tall, that the way I
Made me cower. What a he actually admitted to being a coward.
felt before.
The libel lawsuit against Gawker.
And when he says that, by the way, what he means is he cowered, he shied away from social media, from the press, right? He was scared, and rightfully so. He was scared of these tapes coming out, not because he was caught on tape having with one of his friend's wives, but because he said racist shit about his daughter's boyfriend.
Went to trial in 2016.
We have rights.
He won this lawsuit. That's so disgusting to me.
It's
Him,
not
man.
just as
I'm gonna
members of the
sue
press,
you.
members of the free press, but we're also people expressing ourselves on a story that's in the news.
This guy's up in New York sitting behind a computer playing God with other people's lives.
Bankrolled in part by Silicon Valley billionaire and PayPal co-founder Peter Thiel, who says he was outed as gay on Gawker's media tech blog in 2007, years before he was ready to make that declaration publicly at the RNC.
I am proud to be gay.
Backed by Thiel, Hogan won the case, a jury ordering Gawker to pay $140 million in damages. The company filed for bankruptcy within months, and the blog shut down shortly thereafter.
Is it actually going to say what he said? Are we going to get, like, is NBC actually going to say what the tapes revealed?
Thiel, writing in a 2016 New York Times op-ed after the verdict, he funded the lawsuit because the site didn't fight back.
But it should be a deterrent for anybody else who ever tries to do anything like this, not to do it, that you will be held accountable.
What a baby.
Stephen Romo.
They're not going to say it. They say it in the article. I'm a racist to a point, Hogan said, before adding the slur against black people, according to a transcript. Yeah, he literally called himself a racist. So, like, that's not conjecture. That's not, like, me, like, being the, a lefty. Oh, my God, the woke left calling everybody a racist. No, he called himself a racist. He labeled himself that. Unironically. He is a racist, self-avowed. Hogan apologized at the time and called the language unacceptable. Now, this may sound like an apology, but just hold for a second. Around the same time, some outlets purported that Hogan used the same slur. Wait, no, they didn't get into... Okay, he called it unacceptable and then immediately... Yeah, here it is. Okay, they get into it. Never mind. It's one thing to get caught on tape saying these things in private. It's another thing for you to decide publicly to align yourself with a cause that many black... No, this isn't him. They literally just left it out. They just left it out. Hold on. Hulk Hogan apology. Yahoo News. Should you shed a tear for racists? No. Explicitly racist remarks. He called his daughter's black boyfriend the N-word. He issued an apology during a 2015 interview with ABC News. No, I'm not. I'm not a racist, he said. I never should have said what I said. It was wrong. I'm embarrassed by it. But a lot of people need to realize that you inherit things from your environment. I'm not a racist, but classic deflection, an attempt to contextualize hate is something... Who is this Yahoo writer? That's great. Who's this Yahoo writer? Kel Dansby? Perfect. Kel Dansby, you're a real one. For many, the apology rang hollow, more an exercise in damage control than a moment of reflection. Yes, exactly. Yeah. So he's like, no, you gotta understand, like, it's fine to be racist if, like, you were taught to be racist. Like, I'm sorry that I was racist, but not because I was racist. I'm just sorry I got caught being racist. So yeah, this goes on. That's not the only thing, by the way. He was also a union buster. I believe it was, let's see if we can pull up the video clip of Jesse Ventura. I love Jesse Ventura. What a real one. Jesse Ventura, Hulk Hogan. Yeah, Jesse Ventura interview. Hulk Hogan ratted on me to Vince McMahon.
He's the P.T. Barnum of the generation. He took wrestling and made it a household word and took it national and made himself a billionaire. Now, is Vince a ruthless billionaire businessman? Yes. But you probably have to be.
We need to run him. I don't care how old he is. We need to run him in 2028.
No grudge against Vince.
Please.
You used to, though, didn't you?
No. When I disagreed with him, I did the proper thing. You go to court. I took him to federal court and beat him, and I have a retirement now.
We should have run him. If they wanted to run some old in 2020, they should have run Jesse Ventura. Like, I don't know how old he is, but he looks old enough that the liberals would be like, yeah, it's his turn. He can have a turn.
He has to pay me for every tape I've ever been on, and as long as he sells them. So quarterly, I get a check from him and have since 1991. I call it my wrestling retirement. I'm the only wrestler in the world that has it. A retirement, even though technically it's not.
I'm going to skip ahead a little bit.
Why do you think he won't have me back?
Here we go.
Ever being repaired?
Never.
Here we go.
You and Hulk were once good friends.
Yeah.
What's the likelihood of that ever being repaired?
Never.
What?
Can't trust him. I'm not friends with anyone.
He hasn't said anything since his death, but at least not to my knowledge, but he has the opportunity to do the funniest possible thing right now, and I hope he does.
When I don't trust. I have to have a trust with someone to be their friend. And he's the one that ratted me to Vince when I tried to unionize.
Scab.
I found that out under federal deposition when Vince was put under sworn, and he didn't hesitate at all. I told my lawyer the story, and in deposition you can ask about anything. And so I wanted to know who ratted me in the locker room, because there were no agents, no one from the office was in there when I did it. So it had to be one of the boys. And when my attorney said, Mr. McMahon, has there ever been a union in wrestling? And Vince said, no. He said, has anyone ever tried to? And Vince said, well, I think Jesse Ventura spouted his mouth off about it once before. And my attorney said, did you hear Mr. Ventura? No. Well, then how do you know he did? With no hesitation, Vince went, Hulk Hogan told me. And I didn't show any emotion, but I almost tipped over in the chair because he was my friend. And I thought, but then I understand why. When we went to court, I saw in WrestleMania 3, Hogan got paid more than all of us combined. Now, why would he want a union?
Vince McMahon was his pay picky, right? Like, he was a little daddy's boy for Vince McMahon. He's like, no, Daddy doesn't want unions, Jesse. Daddy doesn't want unions, so no unions. Yeah. Daddy said so.
When he's getting taken care of. Imagine that, WrestleMania 3. 93,000 people, and he got more than Andre the Giant and all the rest of us combined.
Andre the Giant even hated his guts, by the way. Andre the Giant, one of the nicest people who ever lived, hated Hulk Hogan.
If there was a union, would that happen? No.
What communication?
Okay, we get the point. So he's a union-busting scab piece of shit as well. Not to mention, of course, he vouched for MAGA in 2024. You know, he was, here it is, right here. We don't need to pull up the videos. He tore a fake shirt, whatever, and said, Trump is goated, Trump is great. You know, Trump doesn't deserve any of the hate, and other such rhymes. But yeah, like, yeah, no, there was all kinds of shit going on with him. So ultimately, I'm going to cap this segment off. What I want to get across is I've gotten a lot of shit for making fun of Corey Compratore, the fireman who took a bullet for Donald. God redirected the bullet into him to save Donald Trump on that fateful day last year. And like, I don't care about making fun of him. I'll shit on him all I want, okay? Yeah, the guy was a piece of shit. He's shielded his kids. That's great, okay? He did the thing that every father literally fantasizes about doing, okay? That's a I'm sorry, that's the bare minimum. You're supposed to, if you have the opportunity, you are supposed to shield your children from bullets. That's just a dad thing to do. I'm not impressed. And I'm certainly not impressed by the fact that he was at a fascist's rally. Okay, and he posted on Twitter about, like, wanting Palestinians to die. But no, nobody cares about that. Nobody cares about that. It's just about me and about, like, what I say about the guy who took a bullet for Donald Trump, for his big sweaty daddy, okay? So yeah, I'll make fun of that guy all I want. I'll make fun of this asshole, Hulk Hogan. Almost forgot his name, like the world will in the future. Like, I'll make fun of him all I want. His heart exploded, which is very impressive considering he didn't have one. And, you know, rest in peace, bozo. Like, I will not miss you, and most people also will not miss you. Hi, thanks so much for watching and making it to the end of the video. I just wanted to let you all know that I love and appreciate everybody in my community, whether you can support me financially or just by liking, commenting, and sharing my videos. It helps way more than you know. That being said, I do want to give a very special thanks to my Tier 4 subs, which would be Space Timid and Hot Take Andy. And thanks so much to my monetary subscribers from any of the tiered subs, or anybody who gives me money in any form, including going to my Patreon shop, donating money to me directly. It all helps way more than you know. If you do decide to help me financially, you can get some really cool perks like early access to content, exclusive access to censored videos, also some really cool badges next to your name. Even if you can't afford a monetary subscription, just watching, sharing, and commenting on my content helps way more than you know. Thanks again, and I will see you all in the next video.